take 2 cameras off of us, okay?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're already live. So, Chief, thanks for joining us.
You bet.
Chief, pleasure for joining us. Hey, everybody, John Scullin from Demers. I'm the brand champion for Demers Bra and Crestline. And today we're going to do a walk around of a beautiful new truck for Rapid City, South Dakota Fire Department. We have Chief Culberson here. Jason and I have worked together for many years on Demers projects. We really appreciate the loyalty. And now we have Division Chief of Medical, Brent Long. And again, thanks for your support of Demers. We know you have a very large fleet of our ambulances from type 1, 2, and 3 all the way through. So we really appreciate it. And these last 3 are all type 1s, right?
Correct.
And we're going to tell the folks all about this one. We're going to head up to the front and just thank you for being here. We wanted you to know we appreciate your business.
We appreciate
Thanks very much, Chiefs. Enjoy the show. We're glad you could make it. All right, everybody, let's take a look at the Demers MXP 150. We're going to walk around the front. We're going to start with the chassis and the front of the module, cover a few topics, and then come around back so you can see the inside. Okay, we're up at the front now. Thanks for sticking with us, and thanks to those that are joining us today for the Facebook Live. This is a beautiful ambulance. It's a beautiful Demers. Love the color scheme, so I'm excited to show this to you today. So we have a 2021 Demers MXP 150 riding on a Ram 4500 gas Hemi, 5.4 liter Hemi, and it also, 6.4 liter Hemi, and it also has all of the other things you'd expect with the chassis, the running boards. We won't spend a lot of time on that. First, we're going to talk about the module. By the way, this is a gasoline 4x4. The module, the Demers MXP 150, is our workhorse in the Type 1 line. It's large enough to store all the equipment you may need. We do have fire departments that say, we might need a bigger ambulance. So we have some fire customers in the 150s, but we've got them all the way up into the 170s. So just let your salesman know your needs. That's really important at the beginning of the discussion. So the 150 is a 150-inch long module, 95 inches wide with 72 inches of headroom. The nice thing about the module, though, is the lifetime warranty. So you can expect many years of service out of it, Demers. It is remountable. The warranty will follow it if you do a factory remount, and it has a lifetime module guarantee up to a capacity or maximum of 25 years. That's really where we want to stop remounting, just due to the structures of all boxes. We want to really re-inspect them. But you'll get lots of years of life out. We're going to move up to the front. Again, 5 or 7 lights, whatever the customer chooses. Rapid City has a very simple but effective light package. They stick with the basics. And we're going to come up and I'll show you the cab and the center console here. So all of the Demers models have a center console, of course, all aluminum, and we utilize that to put all your switching in, siren, and then of course up above on the dash, your backup camera will actually come through the screen, and if you have an auxiliary monitor or some 360 cameras, you have a second screen. But as you can see by the console, Demers really focuses on ergonomics. We want the switches right within reach of the driver and the passenger so they can keep their eyes on the road and continue that tradition of safety throughout the entire call. All right, wait for our camera person to catch up. Thank you. All right, we'll start here at the street side 1 compartment, often known as the oxygen compartment. Point out very quickly, of course, Demers is K certified to the latest revisions, CAS, GVS, NFPA, all of the AMD certifications. You can ask your sales rep about that. On the 150, very standard oxygen compartment. Oxygen cylinder is isolated from the rest of the ambulance, as it should be per spec. But the thing that I want to point out is something where Demers, we always take the extra step for the durability and the length of the time you can have this truck in service. Standard features that I'll point out are things like these retention straps. Some people call them hurricane straps. What that does is saves your door from being overextended in the wind, or if someone just gets too vigorous and tries to open the door. It also helps these gas shocks last a whole lot longer. So really nice feature of the Demers, and it is included. The other reason I start here is to show you these door seals. Demers is the only manufacturer that has a standard dual door seal design like this. What does that do for you? Well, it gets the elements out of the compartments, keeps your equipment in and safe, and it keeps it clean. Any dirt that makes it past the first gasket is not going to go into the interior of the compartment. Another nice feature on the Demers. All right, the 150 model has the electrical contained within street side 2. There's a diamond plate cover over our standard electrical system. It's a PRAN multiplex. We call it the DEMS system. We can do remote diagnosis. We can do troubleshooting in the field, all as simple as a quick computer connection. So that's behind here. Some customers ask for access doors. We can do that too. Behind the second panel, and you notice all these panels are easily accessible. You have your suction pump here and your inverter behind that, and the very convenient stair chair on the door. This is something Demers is known for throughout the world. One of our designs where we keep the stair chair on the door, out of your way. All the elements come off the wheels down onto the ground, and you don't have a sloppy compartment. Even better, you don't have to lift, bend, and stoop to get that stair chair in. All right, fire extinguisher, standard of course, and we have an auto eject midship, along with an angled turn signal for the front of the mod. If you take a look at the wheel wells, you'll see they're not shiny aluminum or chrome or any other metal that would be dissimilar with the aluminum. We use a fiberglass composite wheel well trim with a Sikaflex bead around it, and what that does for you, the reason it's important, we don't get all the corrosion around the wheel wells. And we do have a 5-year, 180,000 mile paint warranty. No other manufacturer has a non-prorated 5-year full warranty that covers corrosion. So be sure to check with your rep about that. We spend a lot of time on body prep and corrosion to ensure that you have a solid product without any blemishes or bad spots. Another very simple compartment again though, the street side 3 used for SCBA storage or whatever miscellaneous equipment the fire department might need to carry with them at the time. It's a nice side view of the ambulance. All right, we're going to go around the front, take a look at the banner here. Got some folks taking a look, which is great. So Rapid City Fire Department was established in 1886. We already introduced the chief to you. They cover 54 square miles in the city, but this is a huge district. They cover a very large volume of calls, almost 20,000 calls. So again, we appreciate their business and we love seeing the Rapid City trucks when we're out and about. Let's go around the other side while these folks take a look at the Rapid City truck. Okay, ALS compartment. Got some miscellaneous things in here, some equipment for the show. But here you see we have plenty of storage for ALS bags. The shelves are all reinforced and you can flip them upside down if you prefer a lip. Most people keep their ALS or first out bags here. So this is designed for a quick, easy removal of the bag, and again, all aluminum structure shelf. And we continue the patient compartment flooring up to the front. If you have that one big heavy bag that everybody carries that tears the compartment up, that's a great spot for it. Second side of the cab here, another look at the console and where we put the USB outlets. Not too exciting, but the Ram cab is a customer favorite, I have to say. They have a pretty good size extended cap on the back of the chassis, and it gives you about 4 more inches of lean back to be able to relax in the front of the truck. Now, quite often Type 1s are emergency response, not many transfers, but Rapid City, you can imagine they're in the front of the truck a long time, so it's important to have that cab extension. And what I'm referring to now that the video's out here is the chassis used to stop about this area. We remember sitting straight up, so Ram and Ford both have that standard now, the cab extension. All right, we'll go to the side entry door. I really like this option, these glazed frosted windows. So what these provide is great amount of privacy. Nobody can see in and see the patient or see the treatment. Oftentimes they'll have a crowd around the ambulance at different calls. People are wondering what's going on. Can't see inside, very nice feature. And it fits very well on our flush mounted windows. You have 2 choices on our flush mounted windows. You can either have just a standard window in the door, or you can have this one that opens. And you can see it's a real automotive mechanism. We don't have a small aluminum clamp there that's going to break later. So we want this window to have years of durability, and again, flush mounted. What does that do for you? I don't really care what the window looks like, John. You're right, you probably don't, but everybody else in the industry cuts a hole in this door, and then they mount a frame of dissimilar metal. Yes, they treat it, they do everything they can to avoid corrosion. What we've done with a real automotive style window is provided an internal gasket, just like a minivan, SUV, or a car has at the back when they have big windows. And all of the water and dirt run out from there, out of the pan form and down. They don't get inside the door. And then everybody who's been in an ambulance for a while knows we get a lot of corrosion on doors in this industry. So we do everything we can to keep that water out.
Someone is asking, are those windows electric shading?
They are not. There is electric shading options available from some aftermarket vendors and some ambulance brands, but you should ask your dealer about them because there are some aftermarket solutions that will go on. This concept was actually, it's simple, correct? I mean, we didn't think of it in the beginning, but we had Las Vegas come to us first, and they said, we just got people around the truck all the time. So we came up with a way for them to still be able to see out, the people not being able to see in. And the other nice thing about the flush mounted graphics is if you do a side wrap or any bigger graphics, they look very nice on a flush window. You don't have to go around the seams. All right, so our curbside door is open. We're going to hit most of that from the back because it's just easier to see, but you can see the standard ALS cabinet here. It is available with or without a center medication drawer. This is the most frequent configuration. People will put ALS at the top, put their bigger, heavier bags at the bottom, and they have a locking med box. One other thing I'll point out, since we're standing so close, is right up in the middle of the front wall, you'll see the arrows and the circle. So those are driver indicator lights or driver intention lights. And what does that do? Well, it's the light you see right before your driver takes a turn too hard and throws you off the bench. We should have our seatbelt on, but we all know there's times we're up moving. So it gives you an indication at the front and the back of the module if your driver's getting ready to make a turn or a hard stop. All right. Got any other questions, throw them in the chat. My wonderful camera assistant here is checking those questions, and we'll get right back to you with an answer if we can. All right. Standard backboard compartment on the MXP 150. Plenty of room for the backboards we have to carry, especially in the industry now. Everybody's really cut down on those. So plenty of dividers and shelves can be added in there to suit the needs of your department. Rapid City has a very simple setup where they just keep their spine boards and scoop, and the dividers keep them from moving around. Now the part that everybody gets excited about, right? The interior. No, we don't always get excited about the interior, but we've got to take a look at it because it's all about safety at Demers. The chairman of the board said hi to me, so I'm going to say, hello, sir. Good to see you. You can interrupt. So, all right, we're at the back of the MXP 150. And again, I know you all see my videos and you know how excited I get about these trucks. And this is just a particularly beautiful one, and the beauty is in the simplicity, the industrial look, the safety, and the ergonomics. Those of you that are not familiar with Demers, if you forget everything else I said during this video, I want to show you one thing. This is what we call the clever cabinetry, this entire wall from front to back. And what that is ambulance manufacturers will build a box, they'll bolt the cabinets down in the inside, and then in the event of a side impact collision or even a front shear collision, those cabinets can come off the wall. And we have seen that many times in the industry. Especially dangerous in the airway seat. If you take a front collision, if that cabinet came off the wall, you could imagine the damage it could cause to a person, if not kill them. So Demers has a very cool design. It's exclusive to Demers. Again, clever cabinetry. Simply flip up the restock here to demonstrate it. Restocking is optional on this model, but standard on most of the Demers. So this clever cabinetry is a third wall. What we do is we build this big aluminum extruded structure outside of the ambulance. The cabinets are mounted to the back of it, and then it's set in as one piece. And again, you're saying, John, what does that do for me? It does something very important. If you get hit in the side or in the front by the O2 tank, you have a side impact collision, the cabinet's not going to come off the wall. And why is that? We pull test our cabinet walls horizontally, this way, folks, 20,000 pounds, up to 20,000 pounds, depending on the weight of the wall. So this particular model will have a certification for the weight of the wall. We pull test them to make sure. The video is available on our website. And what we do is we attach 20 straps to the wall, and you can watch the video and see the pressure regulate on the cylinders, and just make sure the wall stays in place. That's what's important. We want to go home at the end of the shift. We all really, in this field, all of us people are doing this for the same thing, right? I'm an EMS guy too. We want to take care of people, and we want to go home to our family at the end of the day, and that's really important. All right, another cool feature on Rapid City is the EVS backpack seats. A very convenient seat with a backpack style strap to meet the new regulations, because if you're sitting freely and have a collision, we want to be belted as much as possible. The reason they chose these is because they have a lot of mobility with them, and the guys tend to wear them a little bit more because they can just slip their arms in. So once you slip your arms in it, the top is done, and you don't have the 6-point harness right up against you, and you don't have a lot of the other movement restrictions. Now, there's also a lap belt we would put on, but as you can see, I can lean forward pretty far to work on my patient. So even with the backpack style seats, and really this is about compliance and safety, right? We want our folks to wear them, and we want them to be safe. Same thing on the curbside wall. We have 2 of the EVS backpack seats on that wall ready to go. And then we'll go over the rest of that. Up above, you have several choices for cabinets. You can get gloves, cabinetry, or nothing. 3 glove box holder in this one. End of the squad bench has a control panel. That's the Demers emergency control console. You can do heat, AC, lights, suction, exhaust fan, pretty much anything from that seated position. So if you set your ambulance up right with a little thought in the beginning, we can try to keep our staff sitting down more, and that's what it's all about. You know, our partner brand launching the Braun impact airbags today. It's the same theme. It's all about the safety of the occupants. At the end of the squad bench, we also have a tip-out trash can. At the head, we have a sharps container. Pretty standard items, but a nice simple layout, easy to use, gives them plenty of room to work. All right, I'll point out a couple more things and we'll let you go, folks. This is the Technomount system mounted here on the cardiac monitor wall. And what that enables you to do is put your cardiac monitors, IV pumps, any other type of heavy equipment that you do not want flying around the back of the truck. It comes with an adapter per model. So let's say you have a LifePak or Zoll. You pick your model, the bracket comes there, and what we do is it slides in and locks in with this puck. And this meets all the new SAE crash standards. This is a certified mount. So if you're using a different cardiac monitor mounting location, or if you're using a different device, that's okay. That puck is interchangeable. We have a lot of customers who will put 2 or 3 of them in there, and you can move your monitor from counter to counter or side to side. A really cool solution. We already talked about the restocking cabinets. We talked about LED lights outside. I may not have, but I'm going to talk about them now. So we have all LED cabinet lights, standard. You can see the insides of the cabinets are very well lit, easy to see. And a really cool feature is these little sliding dividers. These are pretty cool. So what you do is, we've all got baskets or bags or things sliding around on these shelves. Once you set these by adjusting the front, they won't move. They're just a simple friction divider. But it's a very nice feature, and we can even add them on the bottom shelf if that's something that you want to. All right, meat and potatoes here, action area. This model has our premium countertops. They are a solid surface countertop that won't soak up any fluids, so that's meant to keep your biohazards under control. Sharps container, suction, all those other cool things you use every day. And last thing I'm going to show you is our radio comm cabinet. A pretty good idea, because you get your ambulance, you get your radios to put in. Where do I start, right? So what we do at Demers is, this door is standard in all of our modular models. You have an access door that locks. It's designed to mount your larger radio components, modems, GPS units, anything on the front wall. You have power access, both ignition hot and constant hot. And you have an HVAC system that's easy to access and work on. As I've gone around, you've seen I've been opening a lot of doors, show you the insides of things. Demers, we try to put as many access panels as we can, because maintenance is just as important. You want to be able to work on the ambulance. You want it to be down less time, and that's what we're going to offer you here with the Demers. So if you have any questions in the chat, let us know, and we'll check the chat afterwards. If we didn't answer them, we'll get back to you. We appreciate you joining us today.
What type of cooler or fridge do you offer?
Oh, we offer several. So that's a great question. Medication temperature control is a hot topic. And the most common one is probably an OTE, which is OTE International. It's a saline cooler type drawer type cabinet. We have one that fits exactly in half of this panel. So what we do is we put the OTE there, and then you still get a drop-down radio. You can also get a Mermaid, which goes in this spot. And the third choice, which is also becoming very popular, is the Engel Portable. And what it does is sits down here in the walkthrough. In fact, there's one in here. That was not a setup. That's right, we have an Engel cooler in here, so I'll let them show off the cooler. And what the Engel is a very small portable cooler. It has 12 volt and 110. There's an outlet in the wall behind it. So your temperature control of your medications is there. If you need logging or printouts of your temperatures for audit purposes, that cooler will not work. You would need to go with one like the Mermaid. So great question. I like that.
What type of
220 electrical system do we use for the inside? Okay, Colin. Well, we use a standard 120 volt system. We do have an inverter on board. Of course, the inverter is a 1500 watt Xantrex Freedom X, so it provides plenty of power. And if you're talking about 220 for international, of course, we do some of those systems. That would be a totally different topic. But you're always going to get your hospital grade outlets with the GFI built in. And you saw the lights flicker. That's our 15-minute timer for the doors. The truck's been awake and on, so it's going to flash once. So the longer I go, the more I find. So I'm just going to cut it off unless we get any more questions. And stay tuned this week. We're going to show you a lot of cool stuff. We got a Demers MXP 170 next to us. That's going to be a great one. And thanks for visiting us today and taking a look at Rapid City. Thank you to Rapid City and Regional Sales Manager David Greenfield. Thank you all.